Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament, presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedExForum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedExForum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the, we'll call it the Built Ford Tough studio in Midtown Manhattan. Ben Doyle back in Memphis. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you get through the day best you can.
Not bad.
And I hope you enjoyed that beatdown last night inside FedExForum. Whoop that Warrior in full effect. Golden State's entire dynasty was humiliated last night in downtown Memphis. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. Jessica Benson is the host of the Jessica Benson Show. Weekdays, 8 a.m., Grind City Media. She joins me on Friday in the second segment. Today's Friday. She's going to be here in about 20 minutes. I'll celebrate with her. When I'm finished talking to Jessica, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them Penny Hardaway's Tigers going to return to FedExForum this weekend. Huge game, Mississippi State in town on the heels of the Tigers accepting gifts from Drake. OVO. I would have advised against this. I would not have done this. We'll discuss it in about 40 minutes. Karl Anthony Towns had a great night in his return to Minnesota. Good for him. We'll tip our hat to Cat. We'll do that in just a bit. Diddy was visibly thin when he appeared in court earlier this week. A prison expert, yeah, there are such things. A prison expert has an explanation for why Diddy is losing so much weight behind bars. I'll tell you what he said. We'll do that in the third segment. We got a new kind of crime problem sweeping through Memphis. It could take a toll on Food Truck Friday. I'll explain what's going on there. We'll do that a little later on in the show. And the first ever 12-team college football playoff gets underway tonight. Indiana at Notre Dame. It's going to be outside. It's going to be cold. Can't wait. We'll get you ready for that. We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get through. But I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because game 28 of a scheduled 82, it was played last night. They did it inside FedExForum. Man, oh, man, it might have been, not a historian, Might have been the best game that's ever been played in the history of games inside FedExForum. Final score, Grizzlies 144, the Warriors 93. You do the math on that, it's a 51-point beatdown of a $9 billion franchise. History was made in multiple ways. Steph Curry finished with just 2 points. He was minus 41. Draymond Green finished with exactly 0 points. He was minus 42. Literally a historic performance from Goofy Draymond. 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 4 turnovers, 4 fouls, minus 42. According to Fast Break Memphis, which I would trust with my youngest son's life, so I'm going to trust him here, Draymond Green's minus 42 was the worst plus-minus ever recorded for a player with 0 points, rebounds, assists in a game. This dude is making $25 million to go 0-0-0 minus 42. He should be ashamed of himself. Steph Curry and Draymond Green have played 715 games together in the regular season, even more when you count the playoffs. Last night represented the first time neither has recorded a field goal in a game while playing together. Steph was 0 of 7. Draymond was 0 of 4. The Warriors were awful. Grizzlies were great. Big Bet Bennett, I watched it from a hotel room here in New York City. You were inside the building. What was it like to be inside the building for a 51-point beatdown of a dynasty?
Yeah, I mean, not to be hyperbolic, like I'm wondering if they should consider just like possibly shutting down that franchise.
I mean,
or at least maybe forfeiting the season.
It runs counter to what you would think. It was just valued at a little more than $9 billion. It's the wealthiest franchise, the most valuable franchise in the NBA. So it would be an odd time to shut things down. But I get your point. Like I watched the same thing you watched last night.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's no coming back from something like that. It was incredible. Now we did once upon a time beat the Thunder by like 70 something in this same building, but I mean this is the Warriors. This is like the Warriors.
The Thunder. Yeah. I mean, you'd have to remind me, but
that Thunder team sucked.
The way I remember it, I don't think that Thunder team had Steph Curry or Draymond Green or Steve Kerr, and certainly not Dennis Schroeder. So I'm gonna say last night was more of a. It felt like a message was sent. Did you feel like a message was sent? It felt like what I saw was a message being sent.
It did. I think Ja summed it up perfectly. I don't think this was caught on camera last night, but I saw it, and it is one of my favorite things I think I've ever seen before, and I will be using it going forward. He did he was on the bench, and he stood up and did the, when you like put the baby over your leg and give him a little spanking. That was his way of celebrating that last night. And I thought that was pretty good. Yeah.
And the Warriors were reduced to like just sort of tipping their hat. The Warriors who, at least in Draymond's case, will say anything at any time about anybody, specifically Taylor Jenkins. He didn't really have much to say last night other than give them credit. Steph didn't really have.
What the hell are you going to say?
I don't know. I'd come up with something, I think. Or else I'd have not said what I said earlier. One of the two.
Yeah.
I'd either not said what I said earlier, or I'd have come up with something to say last night. But do you really think that was a factor? I gather others are really connecting these dots. Draymond Green popping off about Taylor Jenkins, the Warriors having real history with the Grizzlies. Mm-hmm. It all came to a head last night, and the Grizzlies walked onto that court with more whatever it is you can walk onto a court with than the Warriors had. Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I sat in here yesterday and told you I want the Grizzlies to blast them in this game.
You said I want you to quote yourself correctly. You said beat the crap out of them. You said if they have crap inside of them, by the time we finish this 48 minutes of basketball, I would like for the crap to be outside of them. I would like for the crap to be beaten out of them. That's what you said.
And it's set up perfectly because the Grizzlies had some rest. I know they had this game circled because of all the talk leading up to it. And the Warriors have been playing bad. They had lost 8 out of 10 coming into that game. So, yeah, I thought the Grizzlies were going to win last night. Obviously, I didn't see a 50-point win coming. But it was awesome, man. And there was so many good individual storylines that came out of that game last night. Obviously, we'll see what happens with Ja going into the game tomorrow. He hurt his back last night, didn't finish the game. I do think it's notable that he was questionable to return to the game. So I think that maybe if it would have gotten tight, that they could have brought him back. But obviously, they had no reason to bring him back. Desmond Bane looked good to start the game. I thought that was big. He didn't have a big scoring output because he didn't need to. They didn't need him last night. They won by 50. But he came out, hit a couple threes, drove to the basket at ease. Like, I felt really good about that because he's a guy that we've talked about a lot recently as far as production. So felt good about that. And Santi, dude, like, I do not think, I told Roser this on the postgame, I would be willing to bet anytime he has scored 20 points off the bench this year that the Grizzlies have won the game. Like, he has been awesome. And Eric mentioned it on the broadcast last night, so I want to give him credit. I wonder if we should start putting him in the Sixth Man of the Year discussion. Like, this dude, every time he's productive for the Grizzlies off the bench, they win.
Perhaps.
I'm just throwing it out there. It's early. I'm just throwing it out there. Santi's been awesome. And he was the leading scorer last night.
I think if you Google odds to win Sixth Man of the Year right now, you're going to see some other names pop up.
I think so, too. I think so, too. We got a lot of time.
After a 51-point beatdown of the Dynasty Warriors, the $9 billion Warriors, then, hey, I'm not here to argue with you on a Friday morning. It really, in Steph specifically, like, that was, like, Steph Curry's a 16-year NBA veteran, a top 10 player of all time, a 4-time champion, a 2-time MVP. If you were inside FedExForum last night, you watched perhaps the worst game he's ever had as a professional. And by extension, the worst game he's ever had since you knew he existed on this planet.
Not perhaps. It was his worst game as a professional.
He was 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3, 2 points, 24 minutes. It was the most field goal attempts and most minutes without a make in his entire 16-year NBA career. So he was bad. Draymond was bad. The Grizzlies seemed focused, motivated, rested. Dez comes out. He makes that 25-footer right from the jump to sort of set the tone. And then the Grizzlies, for people who didn't watch this game, this wasn't something like, and they pulled away in the third quarter, or they pulled away in the first and they just stayed away the entire time. It was a beatdown from start to finish. And I thought the other thing that's interesting, if you're just sort of looking at this from a distance, if you're, hosting an NBA podcast for The Athletic or CBS Sports or The Ringer or wherever, the thing that is also notable is you look at the Grizzlies, broadly speaking, in this season, but specifically last night, on the court in that starting lineup, what was it? It was 3 all-star level guys. When they are all playing well, it's 3 all-star level guys, John Morant, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, and 2 rookies.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the combination, if you can ever figure it out, with salary caps and aprons and taxes and everything else. If you can ever figure out how to create a championship contender where you've got the 3 guys who are making real money and you're surrounding them with guys on rookie deals that are relatively not making much. I mean, that's how you get around all of this stuff and make a championship team that's affordable and that can be held together. So that was the other interesting thing last night. Zach Edey coming back, inserted into the starting lineup. And obviously Jalen Wells has been a consistent starter this season. And Jalen got the post-game interview. Zach got the stare down of Draymond Green. I just thought that was a great snapshot of where we're at right now. The Grizzlies went out last night at home, smacked around the Dynasty Warriors, and they did it with a starting lineup of their 3 stars, the big 3, if you will, plus 2 rookies that they selected in the 2024 NBA draft. That was a really nice thing to see. And so now they're 19-9, second best record in the West, 3 games back of Oklahoma City. They got the 4th best record in the NBA, 11-2 in the past 13 at Atlanta tomorrow night. Like you said, we'll have to get an update from @Grizzlies PR. Fingers crossed on Ja Morant. He did, not return last night after leaving the game with some discomfort. And, I don't think you can ever diagnose anything from a television, but I do find encouragement in the fact that he returned to the bench. He was not ruled out of the game. And when Jalen Wells was doing his post-game interview with the legend Rob Fisher, Ja, as they tend to do, snuck up behind him, said something into the camera, seemed in good spirits as opposed to the opposite of good spirits. And I'll take some encouragement out of that. Can you find some encouragement in that, Bennett?
Yeah. He was clearly moving gingerly after he got hurt. I wouldn't be shocked if he maybe sits on Saturday, but he looked in good spirits, and he was giving a thumbs up to people and stuff when he came back to the bench. So hopefully it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play tomorrow night as well, just because, that tomorrow night will come 40, it'll come 48 hours after, what happened.
And it was a rough fall. Like he fell right on his back pretty hard.
Yeah, and you just hope whatever it is, if it is something, you hope it's minimal as opposed to. Here's what I hope the update is: Ja Morant is day to day, as opposed to we'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. We'll be reevaluated in 4 weeks. Just give me a good day to day. Just give me a good day to day update. I can live with it
all day.
I can live with a day to day. I don't want to see it be reevaluated in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. I can live with a day to day.
Yeah.
Anything more than a day to day, I will hang my head in disappointment. Jessica Benson is the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Weekdays, 8 o'clock, Grind City Media. She'll pop in studio next. Gary Parrish Show. I'm in New York. Bennett's in the Built Ford Tough studio. We're presented by Ortho South.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
I want to throw a party just so I can be in control of the aux cord, just so I can force everybody to listen to the Wicked soundtrack. Both of these actresses in Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, I thought it showed how they have experience performing live and on screen, both of them.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner?
Take three! Take three!
Bane for three.
Bingo!
Desmond Bane heating it up.
Blocked by Sharon!
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedExForum.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. I'm in New York City. Bennett Doyle back inside the Built Ford Tough studio, FedExForum downtown Memphis. And What I'm hoping is that right beside him in a chair is Jessica Benson, host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, weekdays, 8 o'clock, Grind City Media. She joins me on Fridays. It's Friday. Jessica Benson, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing swell, Gary. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Let me tell you what I did. I did something for you yesterday. You don't even know about this. I did something for you
I'm so
yesterday.
excited.
Also, Bennett, I did something for both of you. I don't want Bennett to feel left out. I did it for both of you.
I know what you're going to say.
What are you going to say, Bennett?
Did you get that maple thing?
No, but I did get one a couple of Saturdays ago. I went to get donuts for my little guys.
And you got a maple bar?
Well, it wasn't. They didn't have a maple bar, but they did have a maple donut, and I got one because I wanted to experience maple because I heard you guys talking about
And
it.
you didn't like it, did you?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I took a bite. I had a bite. I didn't eat the whole thing, but I had a bite.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. No, I didn't do that, Bennett. I did something else for you guys.
What's
You're
up?
I think you're going to think I'm weird if I tell you what it was.
You went to opening night at the Majestic Theater to see Audra McDonald and Gypsy?
Oh, my God.
No.
How could you be in New York last night and not go see opening night of Gypsy at the Majestic? Like, what are you even doing?
Well, the Grizzlies were on League Pass in my hotel room.
You could have had both.
I could have had both. That's a fair point. I think you're going to think I'm weird. Let me tell you what I did. I made you guys a video with play-by-play of the murder scene.
That is so weird. God, you're so weird.
Can we play it? Do you have it?
I do have it, but no, I can't play it.
Okay,
I'm
just
sorry.
send it to us in the group text.
You haven't sent it to our
I know,
We Stand
because
with Algerian Boxers group chat.
I was gonna send it to Bennett because I knew Bennett would appreciate
Thank you, Bennett.
it.
Hashtag.
Yeah, it's hashtag Algeria strong.
I knew. Yeah, we had. When I send Bennett weird things, he appreciates it, I think. But Jess, sometimes you make me feel weird, and so I was very hesitant.
Oh, you should have sent it. Yesterday would have been the perfect day. They did the Luigi perp walk straight
That
out
was
of.
weird. Wasn't that weird?
Yes,
Wasn't that weird?
That was
Superhero
shameful,
movie.
honestly, on the NYPD.
What were they doing?
I'm sorry,
Why did
are you
they-
trying to make him look even cooler? Like, what did you
They made him
accomplish
look.
here?
They made him look awesome. He was just standing there in the chilly winds.
His hair
off
is
of the
perfect.
river.
His skin is
Hair's-
glowing. Like, what are we doing?
He really is. He really is like a great looking prisoner. Like, I don't know
He
if that's
really
what we
is.
should be focused on.
Probably
but like,
not.
If we're gonna focus on that, I don't know if that's what we should focus on. But if we are gonna focus on that, I don't mind saying it. It's
The
a good
girls
looking
are
murderer.
focused on it. The women are. I mean, my God, if you go to like The Cut, which is what magazine is The Cut a part of? I forget who owns The Cut, but it's either like it's a woman-focused magazine, and their social media posts are women-focused. And if you go to the comments about anything Luigi related, it is everybody talking about how hot he is. Like, and that is probably not the most effective conversation to be having, but it is a truth. And yesterday it fired right back up.
I think it's. He is like getting better looking with prison. He's aging well. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, most people go to prison and it doesn't do great for them. Like no showers, really. No products.
I mean, did you ever see that OnlyFans model that stabbed her boyfriend to death? Remember that girl? Remember,
I
you know her?
forgot about that.
She was down in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, there's a million videos now of her like just being really mean to this guy. Like she says the worst stuff in the world to this guy, and eventually, I guess she crossed a line, and she just like I don't know if she did it like that. I shouldn't. It could have been. She could have done it any number of ways, I guess.
That's where you draw the line at trying to pretend that, but when it comes to making a video reenacting or doing commentary on the murder,
I provided play-by-play.
Oh,
you know
that's
how
cool.
Eric Hasseltine?
You should send that to your agent and be like, hey, at this stage in my career, I've been thinking I'd love to try a little P by P. Here's my tape. And you just send
I
him
would
that.
need to clean it up a little bit. I don't think I was as sharp as I would need to. Like I wasn't as sharp as Eric would have been on last night's game against the Warriors. But I did my best. I provided play-by-play. Here's what I was trying to tell you: that OnlyFans model who stabbed her boyfriend, and I don't know if she did it like that. That's the way I think.
Psycho. That's how we all think stabbings work because of Psycho. I'm convinced.
Right.
That's
If you were gonna
not how people stab.
Okay. If you have a better way, show me. How
Like
would
this.
you stab somebody?
This is how you stab. Like this.
Let's
I'm
get a
more
camera
of
on
a,
Bennett. Bennett thinks you stab like that.
Yeah.
Mine would be more like this.
Forward
Because
thrust.
you want a surprise factor at some points. Like
Yeah.
I think in Romeo and Juliet, like the stab scene, like it's like a like you're taking it out of your pocket. It's like, like a quick
I think I
stab
would do it.
attack.
I think I would do it like this. I would have the knife in my right hand,
Okay.
but I would hold it behind my back.
Ooh.
And then I'd be like, hey, look over here in my left hand. And when they looked over here in my left hand, I'd do one of those.
Oh, damn. That's going to be crazy when it's used in a
I would
trial
run
for one of us someday when we're
I
accused
would
of murder.
I would run what football fans would call a misdirection. I think I would run a misdirection if I were trying to stab. But I've never tried to stab, although I was stabbed once. Have you ever been stabbed? I was stabbed in my hand.
I was stabbed in my ear.
Who stabbed you in your ear?
A girl, I stole her swing in elementary school, and she stabbed me with a pencil in the ear.
I got stabbed with a pencil in my hand.
I've been conditioned to say I stole her swing because that's how she acted. She stabbed me with it. I had lead in my ear for years. I had a little black mark in my ear from this girl who stabbed me with a pencil, and I did not steal her swing. I just got to the swing first, and she thought that I should relinquish the swing because I'd been on the swing yesterday. And I'm like, you snooze, you lose. Run faster.
Snooze, you lose is one perspective. Another perspective would be sharing is caring.
Yeah, but I was an only child, Gary. I had to learn these lessons in a variety of ways, and one of them was getting stabbed in the ear.
I was the only child, too.
See?
How about that?
Weird things happen to you.
Bennett was the only child, but he knew how to share. You seem selfish.
Well, you know what? I wanted to swing that day.
Have you always been selfish?
No, now I overcompensate because I never want to be called an only child. So now I never think of myself first, often to a fault, where I'm like, no, are you okay? Like someone could punch me in the face and I'd be like, are you okay? Why did you do that? Like, can I help you in any way? I don't want you to think this is about me. This is about you.
Well, you haven't always been that way, I gather.
No, I took the swing.
You used to be very selfish.
But I learned you get stabbed in the ear with a pencil. Guess what? Lessons were learned. Violence solves problems.
Heather Bourne stabbed me right in the middle of my hand. She'll admit to it, too. Like, I didn't press charges or anything, but she stabbed me right there when we were young.
Tough.
Like maybe first grade, second grade, third. So it was very young. I still have lead in my hand. It's still right there. Like if we were in the same room, I could show it to you. In fact, I can't wait to show it to you. Next time I see you, I can't wait to show you the lead in my hand. Here's what I was trying to tell you.
I won't be able to sleep until I see the lead in Gary.
Well, listen, I don't want you to lose sleep. I'll take you a picture. Would that be inappropriate to send you a picture of my hand?
No,
Is
you're
that inappropriate?
asking for permission, and it's just your hand. You're clear that it's your hand, and I think that's fine.
It would only be my hand.
But I
it would only
appreciate
be
you
my
asking
hand.
for consent. That's very nice.
It would be a picture of my hand plus a play-by-play reenactment of a murder scene. It would be both of those things.
If you
but
got those two
more.
things without a warning, like they could be construed as a little strange. But now I know your intent behind them, and that's totally fine.
See how we're teaching people right now. So this OnlyFans model's the one who stabbed her boyfriend. She just stabbed him to death, and he died. She's in jail now. Here's the point I'm trying to make. I promise there was a reason this popped into my head.
This took a minute.
I can't wait.
I saw her in court. I've seen her videos. I've seen the videos she made before she stabbed her boyfriend. All right? And then I saw her appear in court. I'm not trying to body shame, but she didn't take care of herself. She didn't take care of herself in prison. She's like put on 25 pounds. And I don't even think if they let her out tomorrow.
We are not fat shaming a woman, even if she did stab her boyfriend and end up in prison.
Well, Jess, I literally said I'm not body shaming. I already announced that.
Yeah, but then you proceeded to say, you can't just say I'm not body shaming and then say she literally gained 20 pounds. It doesn't work that way.
That'd be like me saying, hey, I'm not body shaming, you fat ass. Like,
no, that's how it works. As long as you say I'm not body shaming, then you can say whatever you want afterwards.
Oh, that's right.
I think that's right. She put, okay, fine. Can I say Young Thug? How about that? Young Thug didn't take care of himself in prison.
That's fair.
I mean, most people don't take care of themselves in prison.
Luigi does. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Luigi does. He looks great.
Luigi just has good genes, man. Give him enough time. Prison comes for all.
Does it, Jessica? Does prison come for all of us?
No, but I mean, people in prison, eventually you're like, oh, God, that person's been in prison because they don't look well. The U.S. prison system is a problem.
Well, I agree with that. But counter argument, what else do you have to do in prison besides setups and stuff?
Yeah, but you're like, you have no nutrients. Like Michelle Obama's school lunch plan did not make it to the prisons back in the day. RFK has not announced that he's taking the red dye 40 out of prisons yet. And until then, all you get is like slop and chips and other stuff. I'm watching a show about prison right now and saw how they make prison alcohol, and that made me want to throw up. Just put a bunch of stuff in a bag and hope it ferments.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The prisoners make their own alcohol?
Yeah.
It's prison wine.
Yeah.
I've seen that. They do it in the
also make their
toilet.
own meth.
Yeah.
They do it in the toilet, huh?
Yeah. Or in a plastic bag that they hide.
Do you think people do you think once you get past the idea of I'm in prison, like once you get past that, do you think you figure out how to have a good time? Do you think like people wake up today and be like, I'm going to have a good day today?
No. I mean, I think some people have the ability to like shift their perspective given their circumstances, but for the most part, I don't think prisoners are waking up saying, God, it's a great day to be in prison.
Bennett, do you think? I bet you somebody does. I bet you there's like a Josh Pastner-ish prisoner somewhere who's like, you know what? I'm just going to see the good in this. I'd rather not be here, but now that I'm here, I'm going to make, you give me lemons, I'm going to make lemonade type of thing.
I could see it. I could see it. Yeah. Once you've accepted your fate. Yeah.
Once you accept your fate and you got like a couple of buddies and maybe you just watch like the latest episode of Landman and they did too, and so you want to talk to them about it, maybe you could find. I just wonder if you could maybe find like, this ain't the worst thing in the world.
So as someone in the chat pointed out, Luigi has not technically been in prison yet. It was reported yesterday that when he is eventually in prison, he's going to be in the same jail as Diddy, which that's wild. That's the most pop culture focused prison we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
Get a camera in there.
Do you know this? Diddy and Luigi are being represented by a husband and a wife.
I did not know that.
The wife represents Luigi and the husband represents Diddy. That's the real thing that's happening right now. Can you imagine? This would be like if you and Chris every day came home and you like sat down at the table and you were eating dinner and you were like, so how was Diddy today? And he was like, oh, Diddy was cool. How was Luigi? That's a real thing that they could do if they wanted to, which is all I would do. It's the only thing I would do.
That sounds tough. Hey, but I think Luigi might not look as fresh-faced. I mean, he might. Like, he could just defy all odds. But the prison that they're going to, the infamous Metropolitan Detention Center in Sunset Park, has been plagued by tales of barbaric and reprehensible conditions for inmates. The jail itself has faced intense scrutiny in recent years amid a spate of vicious inmate attacks and complaints about dismal living conditions, including worm and maggot-infested food. That's why all those sit-ups in the world, if you got maggots in your gut, can't grow a six-pack, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if maggots actually prevent you from growing a six-pack. I'm not sure if that's true.
I might have made that up, but we make up health stuff all the time now.
I could tell you were making that up. I could tell you were making that up in real time. Not sure if it's true, but that is disturbing. But how about this? Luigi, I don't think the other prisoners are I don't think he's going to have any real problems.
No,
I think
he's popular. Did you see that news report where in the background they're like yelling to treat him better?
They were yelling free Luigi. The other prisoners don't even think Luigi belongs with them.
Don't you think it is representative of such a disconnect between like those in authoritative positions? For example, like the NYPD doing the walk with him in public yesterday, they probably thought, they're like, we're going to own this. Like, we're going to look so strong. And instead, the star of the show is Luigi. But it was also like, I think there were various clips from certain news organizations saying like, well, Luigi's going to go to prison and he's going to learn. It's not fun to be a prisoner. And other people who had been, sometimes on TikTok, I get former prisoner TikTok, which I get down that rabbit hole. But they were like, do you know how popular you are if you murdered a billionaire in prison? Like, it's not like the worst are people who do stuff to kids. Like, those people get destroyed appropriately in prison. We're doing stuff to women, but like this isn't that. So he probably will be quite popular.
Think about because I've thought about this way too much. I've got a play-by-play video of the scene. I've got a play-by-play video of the scene. It's just sitting here on my phone.
I gotta see that video.
Send the video.
It's outrageous. I can't.
Send the video.
I can't.
You're going to.
Eventually, of course. So this young man had already isolated himself, all right, from the world. Right now, there's a percentage of people in this world who do hold him up as somebody who did something noble. I think most people go, hey, I understand we all hate the healthcare system, but you can't murder somebody on 54th Street, right? I think that's where most people are. But there's a whole nother not insignificant segment of the population that's like, hey, I can appreciate, taking matters into his own hands, that type of stuff. That exists. So how bad is his life right now? He's still isolated. and he is a internationally known celebrity who is being applauded in certain segments of the world. Like, I bet you he doesn't. I bet you there are people who get arrested and charged with murder and they're about to spend the rest of their lives in jail and they go, oh my God, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Do you think he would undo this right now if he could?
No, he seemed pretty steadfast in his decisions.
Yeah, and the latest reporting today that TMZ put out was that he has had this he had this planned for months.
And the interesting thing was, as they were pointing out last night, if you read his writings, it appears that he planned to assassinate somebody before he even picked the target. He was ready to make a statement before he knew he was going to assassinate or murder Brian Thompson. It wasn't like, I'm going to go kill Brian Thompson. It was like, I need to do something. This is what I'm going to do. Now I need to find who I'm going to remove from this world. And so like he sort of like did it backwards.
I mean, I think that's how, not to make false equivalencies, but I think that's how the Unabomber operated as well. And I know one of the books that Luigi reviewed on Goodreads, because we all found his Goodreads account.
Yes.
But one of them was the Unabomber's manifesto. And he was like, A+. He was like, 5 stars.
Wow.
5 out of 5.
5 stars. He loved it.
That was something that was interesting with like the Unabomber. It wasn't about who, it was the messaging around the what. And in similar nature, that's what it appears Luigi was after as well.
I got a video. I'll get it to you at some point.
Man, the documentary is going to be crazy someday.
Oh, I did read there's already 2 major documentary companies that already have them in the work.
I don't want that. We have to stop doing this. We have to stop making docuseries and documentaries like 1 to 2 years after something happens.
The story's not over.
The rest is still unwritten, Natasha Bedingfield style. I need at least 10 years to pass before I get a good documentary on something.
Because what happens now, you release a good Luigi documentary in 3 months. I feel like I've already watched it in the news. I've been following this every day anyway.
Yeah. There's nothing new you can tell me.
Nope.
Like the Jinx, for example, the documentary with the Jinx. Like
Amazing.
You get an incredible reveal that only happens because of the time taken over. I mean, decades and decades of new things being added to that case, all culminating in this guy incriminating himself on tape while making a documentary. Like, that represents great documentarianism to me. Not, let me go find all the best tweets from the last 3 months and turn it into a documentary. I can get that on TikTok. At least until January 19th, I can get that on TikTok.
Like, remember when the little girl got murdered in the national park? Remember she was
yeah.
And then they had all these documentaries, and I would watch them, and I would be like, I know everything that's in this documentary because we just did this 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. This will be the same thing. Let's give it a minute. Mm-hmm. But I do have a video with play-by-play.
Thanks.
And if they need that for a documentary someday, I'm just saying I've got it.
Thanks, Gary.
It might need to be edited, but I have it. Let's switch to basketball.
Was there a game last night?
Man, was there ever?
Did you have FOMO?
Grizzlies.
Did you have FOMO not being here?
No, I don't do that really.
Oh, well, congrats. I'm Gary Parrish. I don't have
No, I don't mean it like
FOMO.
that, but I used to do that. There was a time in my life where I really did feel like I was missing out on things if I weren't there. But that has passed. I never really feel like I'm missing out on much unless it involves my family.
Oh.
Unless it involves my family. I don't.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll switch back someday, but no, I didn't feel like I was missing anything last night, but I did enjoy watching it in my hotel room, and it looked like it was a party. You sure seemed like you were having fun. I saw you on your stool.
I wasn't on my stool. Thank you very much.
Well, you should have been because I saw you like this.
I had a small heeled boot on, and we, as a team, those of us who are usually deciding on if I'm using my stool or not, he was like, I don't think you need it tonight. And I said, you know what? You're right. I don't think I need it tonight.
Did you interviewed the future Sixth Man of the Year?
I did. I interviewed future Sixth Man of the Year,
so.
Santi Aldama. I wish in the moment I would have had the wherewithal to tell him right then and there, like, hey, you're future Sixth Man of the Year, because I wish I had it on tape. Because now that train, I think Eric Hasseltine was the first to say it. And then as I got in my car to drive home, I heard Bennett and Roser say it. And I was like, dang, by the time I have my show at 8 a.m., it's been said. And then CJ beat me to it on my own show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm like fifth on the train.
The agenda has started.
Well, maybe next time you'll use your stool.
Maybe I will.
See?
But I was proud of myself. I put a small heel on. I'm usually a flat shoe kind of gal. I'm trying to, be an adult, be a working woman.
Hey, don't describe yourself that way. I don't think you're allowed to describe yourself that way.
You can't do that.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
I'm sorry. I'm a woman who works.
I think that's more appropriate. But I don't know. They did not put this in the quiz. That was not.
That was not in the HR quiz.
I don't think whether you can refer to yourself as a working woman. I don't think that was in the quiz.
Okay.
If it were in the quiz, what would you think? How would you think you'd vote on that?
I actually don't think of it with working woman. I think of it with working girl. But then with working girl is often associated with other
Truck
kind
stops.
of work. Sure. But for me, working girl is the Melanie Griffith movie. That is my favorite movie of all time.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
I think we can agree it's complicated.
But it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it looked fun. It looked fun through my iPad. Was it a message sent? Was it just like sometimes this kind of like obviously sometimes blowouts happening in the NBA. The NBA is a wacky sport, but that felt like that felt like something more than just a random one-off Thursday night deal. Did it feel like something more than that inside the building?
It did. And listen, the Warriors have been a struggling team. Like, we are not talking about a Warriors team that is encouraged in their efforts to be playoff relevant this year. I live with a Warriors fan. I watched their game against the Rockets that resulted in my husband hitting the couch and saying, well, it's just over for this season. It was a good run. We had our rings. It was fun. Steph Curry was awesome, is awesome, but it's not going to work as this team is constructed. And he's of the belief that even a big trade, like if the Jimmy Butler sweepstakes landed Jimmy in Golden State, in his opinion, that changes absolutely nothing for this Warriors team. They are done. They are toast. That does not take away from how the Grizzlies beat the Warriors by 51 points, right? Like, it wasn't Ja and Jaren combining for 70 points last night. It was Santi Aldama and Jake LaRavia combining for 40 points in a game where Steph Curry and Draymond Green combined for 2. Like, it was Draymond Green going 0-0-0 and a minus 42. It was Steph Curry getting locked up by Jalen Wells. It was the Grizzlies starting 2 rookies in that game, and both of them being effective between Jalen Wells' defense on Steph Curry, Zach Edey getting into it with Draymond Green but not getting pushed over the edge himself while watching Draymond Green lose his marbles per usual. And then the Grizzlies made 27 threes. Right. Like, if you're a team that can make 27 threes, and it will likely not be 27 threes again this season, but that's encouraging in a league that continues to take more and more three-pointers, and you're still not at 100% full strength. You're still waiting for Vince Williams Jr. You're still waiting for Gigi Jackson. Marcus Smart didn't play last night. Jay Huff didn't play last night, and your front court depth looked super solid. My God, it's an exciting time. What a flip from where we were at coming out of that loss to the Lakers. It's incredible what a 51-point win over a rival can do for you.
It really is. I've been saying it for years. It is incredible what a 51-point win over.
Just win by 51.
Just win by 51, and people start to feel better. And it really helps your point differential. Buddy, if that was an NBA Cup game, woo!
Oh.
God, we would have been golden.
God.
Woo! Man, if that was an NBA Cup game, you can forget about it.
Someday. I can't wait till the Grizzlies are NBA Cup relevant.
We're going to do it.
But
we're going to do it someday.
I hate the Cup.
We're going to do it someday. I don't know when. But I trust we're going to do it someday. Hey, Jessica, I'm going to send both of you guys in our Algeria Strong.
Yeah, please do.
Chat.
Thank you.
I'm going to send both of you a video at some point today. I'm not pretending I'm Eric Hasseltine or certainly I'm not Pete Pranica, all right? But I did my best. I did my best as a play-by-play of the murder scene. I did that yesterday for you. I was walking to the Apple store and I said, I'm just gonna pull my phone out and do a little play-by-play.
Gary, what's your schedule like the rest of the day? What are you doing tonight?
Okay. Oh, you know what? I actually have an answer to your question.
Okay.
When I get through with this show, I've got to go meet Mark Pope. He's the head coach at Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Kentucky's here to play in the CBS Sports Classic tomorrow. So I'm going to go to Kentucky's hotel, meet with Mark Pope, and then write a column based off of hopefully some interesting stuff that he tells me. When I get done with that column, even though I've spent a good portion of my life here, among the things that I've never done is go to the Comedy Cellar, the famous comedy club.
Yeah.
because you can't just go. You can't just decide
Right.
I'm going to go to the Comedy Cellar tonight. You got to like get reservations 2 months in advance.
Yep.
I mean, it's a deal. And when I got my December schedule and I knew I was going to be here on a Friday night and be off work on a Friday night, I went and made reservations. So I'm going to the Comedy Cellar tonight, late tonight, just because I've never been and I just would like to. I've seen The Room a million times on television.
Yep.
I'd like to go see The Room. And then I'll probably just come back to the hotel here and pass out. And then I'll go to the CBS Sports Classic tomorrow. But that's a pretty full day. That's a good day.
Yeah, I was going to yell at you for not going and seeing a Broadway show, but Comedy Cellar's right up there.
Yeah, I appreciate Broadway shows. Like, probably not as much as you, but it's what I always tell people. When, people say, hey, I'm going to New York. What should I do? And I tell them every time, go to a show. And they go, I don't really like you'll have a great time.
You'll find one that you like, I guarantee.
How about this? You won't be able to find one that you won't enjoy.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know that I've been to a show that I was like, I'm ready. I can't believe I did this in New York.
I have not either, but I am odd. Like, I like everything.
Yeah, but I
enjoy the feeling of live theater so much that I don't think a terrible show couldn't affect my mood sitting at a show in New York.
I prefer a play to a musical.
Interesting.
I would prefer a good play. Like you just put two people on a stage and let them talk, and that's great for me.
Yeah.
That's the best for me. But I have never been to a Broadway show, never, and I've been to a bunch, and I've never been to one where I didn't go, man, that was a good way to spend this night. We had a good time tonight. I've always had a good time. Yeah. Do you ever go to a show by yourself? I've gone to shows by myself before.
Yeah, when I was in college and finally was like traveling by myself for the first time. Like I'd go visit friends over spring break or in the summer, friends who lived in New York or had internships in New York, and I would go stay for a week, and they would have things to do, and so mostly I would go see matinees while they were at work, which would be incredible. And I loved like once I started going to shows by myself, that was the period where I was like, I'm a real fake New Yorker now, baby. Like I'm going to a Broadway show by myself in the middle of the afternoon. I remember I think the first one I saw by myself was Beautiful, the Carole King musical, with Jesse Mueller, the original cast, and I just had the time of my life. I had the best time.
Yeah, when I'm here, I'm usually here by myself, and you always have friends who like live here and work here, but like I don't want my friends coming like just flying into Memphis and thinking I can just go hang out with them all night long. Like I got a wife and kids. I need to be at home. So I never bother people. And so I do amazing things by myself all the time. So I've had some of the most amazing meals and been some of the best shows, and I just do it by myself. I don't mind it at all. I enjoy it. I can have a blast.
Hey, a week from today, I'm going to be in New York seeing 3 amazing shows. I cannot wait. I'm counting down.
All right. Well, I'll be back in Memphis. So
that's too bad. I'm so sad our path. We could have gotten a bagel and a little cup of coffee. And you could have done your play-by-play in person. You could have workshopped it.
I would have walked you there. I would have done it step by step. I know everything about it.
Sad.
We could have made that walk together. As it is, you'll have to do it with somebody else.
Oh, gee, I wonder if it'll make our itinerary.
I could drop a pin for you if you need me to.
Yeah. Send that in the group chat too.
I'll drop a pin for you. Algeria Strong.
Thank you.
All right, Jessica Benson, enjoy the rest of your day. Go walk those dogs.
Go
walk those dogs. Go sit that house. I'll see you later.
I'm doing
Jessica
both.
Benson. I don't know. I didn't, but I assumed.
Yep.
I assumed. Jessica Benson will be back in studio 8 o'clock on Monday. When we come back, turn our attention to college basketball. Penny Hardaway's Tigers back inside FedExForum tomorrow. Mississippi State's in town. Chris Jan's got a good basketball team. Should be a fun one. Memphis trying to improve to 10-2, add another quadrant 1 victory. We'll dive in next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I want to throw a party just so I can be in control of the aux cord, just so I can force everybody to listen to the Wicked soundtrack. Both of these actresses in Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, I thought it showed how they have experience performing live and on screen, both of them.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizz Nation, it's time to send Ja, Sharon, and Dez to the 2025 All-Star Game.
Oh! What did we just see, partner? Take three! Take three! Bane for three. Bingo!
Desmond Bane heating it up.
Blocked by Jaron!
Most versatile power forward in the game today.
Head to NBA.com/vote, the NBA app, or simply use the QR code on the screen to send your Grizzlies to the All-Star Game today.
Hoop on the Grizzlies home court at Junior Grizzlies Game Day Clinics presented by Ortho South. Clinics are open to kids ages 6 to 14 and last 60 minutes. The next clinic tips off December 23rd, the same day the Grizzlies play the Clippers. All skill levels are welcome, from beginner to competitive athlete. Sign up now before spots sell out at grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Registration includes a Junior Grizzlies t-shirt and 2 tickets to the game that day.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Penny Hardaway's Tigers returning to FedExForum tomorrow, 11:30 tip on America's Most Watched Network. It's the network of stars. CBS, Memphis, Mississippi State, combined record 19-3. Mississippi State 10-1, Memphis 9-2. Tigers 21st in the AP poll. Mississippi State currently unranked, but if you care about the top 25-1, I actually have Mississippi State at 17, Memphis at 20. Big Bet Bennett, you fired up for a big basketball game tomorrow inside FedExForum.
I am fired up. I wish I wasn't going to be out of town because I really want to go to this one. I'll probably get to the Ole Miss game when we get back. I hope that they get a good crowd, man. I really do. They deserve it. It's a high-level game. I didn't realize Mississippi State was ranked, right? They must have fallen out. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. Like we've talked about this a ton. You don't get, because of the conference they're in, you don't get a ton of high-level opponents coming in here, especially for a weekend game. You get that on a Saturday. It's awesome. It's a doubleheader because I think the Lady Tigers are playing Louisville because the Louisville basketball team was here last night at the Grizzlies game.
So Memphis now has 7 wins in the first 2 quadrants. I was looking this up last night. If they win tomorrow, it'll be 8, and it will add another quadrant 1 victory. Memphis has 7 victories inside of the first 2 quadrants right now. Nobody else in the country has more than 5. So, they have really hammered home this non-league schedule. And if they can figure out a way to add a couple of more wins over very good SEC programs over the next couple of weeks, Mississippi State tomorrow, Ole Miss the following Saturday, then you're 11-2 heading into your AAC schedule. And as long as you don't give it back, and there are reasons to think that they won't, the biggest ones being PJ Haggerty and Tyrese Hunter, if you don't give it back, we're not talking about being in position just to make the NCAA tournament. We're talking about being in position where you've done enough in your non-league schedule to put yourself in a position to get a high seed in the NCAA tournament, like a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. So big game tomorrow. I do think it'll be the best crowd of the year. There's no reason to think it shouldn't be or wouldn't be. How good, we'll see. But I think it'll look noticeably different tomorrow with Mississippi State in town. If you're unfamiliar with the Bulldogs, Chris Jans is the coach. They're 10-1. The lone losses to Butler. They've got wins over Pitt, SMU, Utah. They've beaten McNeese State, coached by Will Wade. They don't have these big signature wins that have launched them onto the national radar, but this is a good basketball team. Chris Jans is known as one of the better defensive-minded coaches in the sport. This Mississippi State team is actually really good offensively, top 20 in the country in adjusted offensive efficiency. The biggest part of that is Josh Hubbard, who really should be more well-known than he is. Like, college basketball fans, broadly speaking, like undersized, big-scoring guards. Like, if you start asking college basketball fans to name sort of iconic figures from the sport, meaning people who were relevant in college but had no real shot of doing anything in the NBA because of their size usually, it's a lot of small guards who scored lots of points. Well, that's who Josh Hubbard is. He's a 5'11 guard, in-state product, sophomore at Mississippi State. He's averaging 18 points, 3.5 assists, 1.2 steals. And check this out, 0.3 turnovers per game in 30.8 minutes per game.
Damn.
He's a 5'11 lead guard, averaging more than 30 minutes a game and turning it over 0.3 times per game. Damn. Like, that is, I don't even think I've ever
Tyus
seen
Jones numbers.
Like, it's like outrageous. I don't even think I've ever seen that before. So he's terrific, and the type of stage CBS provides tomorrow, because we're gonna have. I'll be here in New York.
We're on Big Boy CBS, aren't we?
Oh yeah, with the
Big Boy CBS,
and leading into the CBS Sports Classic. So you're the lead-in for UCLA, North Carolina, and Kentucky, Ohio State. So I'll be here in New York at the Garden for the CBS Sports Classic. But the way it's being billed on CBS, when you see the promos, it's a triple header tomorrow on America's Most Watched Network, starting with Memphis, Mississippi State, 11:30 Central inside FedEx Forum. It's a big deal.
One of the best Memphis basketball games I've ever seen in person was against Mississippi State.
The Javaris Crittenton NCAA tournament game?
2008.
Is that in Little Rock?
Yeah, it was at the Alltel. I believe it's the Verizon Arena now. At the time, it was the Alltel Arena. They did not serve alcohol there. Oh. And there were empty liquor bottles all over the floor of the entire building when I left the game. But that was people forget that game, other than the Kansas game in the championship, was the closest game they played in that tournament. They almost lost. Well, they would have lost if I can't think of who the guard's name was from Mississippi State, missed a buzzer beater, a potential buzzer beater at the end of that game, and Tigers escaped and advanced.
I don't remember that exactly.
Yeah,
but the way I remember it, no, not Javaris Crittenton. That's not who it was. Javaris Crittenton.
Jarvis Vernardo.
Jarvis, was that who it was?
Yeah, wasn't it Vernardo? Yeah.
I still don't think that's right.
I think that's right, GP. I think it was Vernardo.
Okay, I'm going to go look at the stats now because I don't want to attach a murderer to Mississippi State.
It was definitely not Javaris Crittenton. He was Georgia Tech.
Jamont
right?
Gordon.
That was the guard. But who was the big? The big.
There was Jarvis Vernardo was on that team.
Yeah.
And Ben Hansborough. I remember Ben Hansborough.
Yep.
So Jamont Gordon, Ben Hansborough, Jarvis Vernardo, Phil Turner. That was that team. Hey, so we're renewing a rivalry. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, we are.
We're renewing a rivalry with the Bulldogs trying to get revenge for that 2008 beating that they took from John Calipari and the Tigers. So should be an awesome day inside FedEx Forum. Big stage for both Mississippi State and Memphis. I'm fired up, but, man, I'm a little disappointed as well. I'm a little disappointed, Bennett.
Why's that?
You saw the Memphis Basketball Twitter account last night, didn't you?
Okay. I did see it.
I'm a little disappointed.
I'm fine.
How could you be fine?
GP, I think when Drake, offers to supply you with some cool gear, I think you take that opportunity. I don't think you deny it. Okay.
You deny it. You don't even accept the phone call.
First off, Kendrick Lamar is not putting out like college basketball or college athletic branded stuff. So whatever.
What side are you on? What side are you on?
I'm saying.
What side are you on?
Dude, he
pick a side. OV-ho? Are you OV-ho or not? You sound like you might be OV-ho.
You know how I feel about Drake. I was team Drake until he canceled like 5,000 concerts in this building. That really messed it up for me. That was extremely disappointing. But I'm not going to fault.
So it's not the predatory behavior with young women that bothers you.
I'm not going to.
It's the cancellation of concerts.
Dude, they posted the picture. I'm not going to fault it. I'm fine with it. And I thought the gear looked cool.
OV-ho.
Hey, send me some of that gear. I'll wear it. I'll wear it on this show.
No, you will not.
Yes,
we will not. We will not be labeled OV-ho.
Yeah, we will. I will.
Not inside the Built Ford Tough studio.
Send me.
Not inside the.
You know I love owls. That's my favorite animal. If somebody sends me an owl branded sweet ass like Memphis Basketball crossover gear, I'm wearing it. All right.
We will not be OV-ho inside the Built Ford Tough studio. We will not be OV-ho. I try.
Someone said I would accept gear from Bill Cosby. I don't think
it sounds like it. It sounds like it. Bennett, maybe you need to go to Cell Block 1. Maybe you need to go to Cell Block 1.
It looks cool. The stuff looks cool. You can say whatever you want about Drake. I think his gear looks cool.
The
owl is cool.
I try to be humble about all this stuff. I'm not going to lie to you, Bennett. There'd be times we sitting at home, we got a Grizzlies game on, FanDuel Sports Network, and the commercials will come on, and somebody else, like it could be CJ, it could be Mike Wallace, but somebody else will be sitting inside the Built Ford Tough studio, right? Mm. And my little guy will look at me and he'll go, "Dad, why are they in your studio?" And you know what I say? I say, "Son, that's not my studio. That's just a studio where I happen to do a show, but that's not mine. I don't look at that as mine.
No,
that's ours. That's
right.
ours.
It's ours. We were just the curators.
I'm just lucky enough to be able to sit there sometimes, but I don't take ownership of that. That's ours.
Yeah.
Not mine. I'm trying to teach my sons a lesson,
Yeah.
But I will draw a line that OV-ho, we will not be OV-ho inside the Built Ford Tough studio. If I have to say that's my studio to prevent it from being OV-ho, then that is what I will do. We're not going to be OV-ho, Bennett. Pick a side.
I'm team cool gear.
You're team free stuff.
Yeah, I'm team free stuff. Yes.
If somebody gave you a free Luigi shirt for free, would you wear it?
If I wouldn't get in trouble.
Do you think you would get in trouble?
I do not think I could come on this show tomorrow in a free Luigi shirt and not hear about it. And our bosses are pretty cool. They've let a lot of things slide on this show. I do not think if I walked in here with a free Luigi shirt, it would go over
I would be more comfortable with you in a free Luigi shirt than an OV-ho shirt.
Okay, let's test it out then.
I would be more personally. I can't speak for Pugs, all right? But me personally, I would be less offended by free Luigi shirt than OV-ho. You got to stand for something, Bennett. You don't seem to stand for anything. Do you stand for something or not?
Apparently not. And I'm fine with that. I would have taken that gear and with a big old smile on my face.
Serious question. Then we'll get back to.
I'm being serious.
I'm being serious too. Okay. You say that one more time and see what happens.
I will wear that gear.
I will do the rest of the show by myself. I'll push my own buttons. We will not be OV-ho inside the. We will not be OV-ho inside the Built Ford Tough studio under any circumstance. Serious question.
Yeah.
Because I thought about this last night after I was disgusted. After I found myself disgusted. All right? Mm. If you're Drake and you have taken the beat down in every way that he has taken the beat down, how do you get comfortable enough to approach a college basketball team and think that they would be willing to publicly acknowledge you in a favorable way? Because I'm being serious. If it were my basketball team, we would not do it. I would say we're not OV-ho.
Well,
we're not OV-ho. You're a weirdo.
Shit, Kentucky.
You're a weirdo.
Kentucky put him on the damn roster.
But that was pre all this stuff.
Pre everything.
With Drake, you always have to understand there's a pre-beatdown and a post-beatdown, Drake. These are two different things. It was a year ago, a little more than a year ago. I happened to be here in New York, and Drake and 21 Savage, I think, were at the Garden. And I almost went. Because if I'm being honest, I kind of like that Drake 21 Savage album.
Yeah.
I almost went. But if Drake were back at the Garden tonight, under no circumstances. Things have changed. The world has changed. There's a pre-beatdown world and a post-beatdown world. Now you're OV-ho or you're not. And Bennett, you seem like you're being a little too close to OV-ho for me to be comfortable.
Well, I mean, listen, if you're trying to build yourself back up, what better way than with guys that are going to likely be future, maybe not like everybody, but like some of these guys are going to be future NBA players.
I'm saying
you build it back up. You're building it back up by doing this college gear.
I'm saying if I were Drake, I would be concerned that I would be rejected because people don't want to associate with OV-ho. And if I were Penny, I would have rejected it. I would not let my team.
Absolutely not.
I'm being dead serious. We would not be involved in this. I would say.
This man Bane heating it up.
Blocked by Jaron.
Most versatile power forward.
2 tickets to the game that day.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger buzzer beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish. Bennett, be honest. Did Drake cut the Wi-Fi?
No, you need to be careful. You need to be careful. We're getting infiltrated. We're saying too much on this show today. Too much is happening.
Colonizer.
We're talking about freeing Luigi. You're doing all this Drake stuff. Like it's coming back to bite us. All right, you need to chill. I
don't want to free Luigi. I don't want to free Luigi. I want that clear.
You just told me to wear the shirt.
I'm saying I'd be more comfortable with you wearing a Free Luigi shirt than an OV-ho shirt. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you. And Drake, he doing exactly what he does. This is exactly what Dot was talking about. Run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Oh, Memphis just beat 2 ACC schools on the road. Memphis is ranked in the AP poll. Memphis has got a big game on CBS this weekend. Run to Memphis when you need a check balance. Colonizer. This is colonizer stuff, Bennett.
Okay, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the whole thing.
Then just admit. I want you to look right into your camera right now. Look right into your solo, and I want you to admit to the world that you're okay with colonizers.
No,
that's what you're saying.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Well, then think about who you're aligning yourself with, Bennett. Think about who you and the University of Memphis men's basketball program is aligning yourself with. This is not the year of Drake. And to wait till December 20th to align yourself with Drake, it's just – I'm not saying it's going to cost you. I'm just saying this is not who I would want to be aligned with right now. I mean, Kendrick said it. He told LeBron to keep the family away. He told Steph to keep the family away. He never told Penny to keep the basketball team away. But I think if we ever get an extended version of Meet the Grams, it'll possibly, he could add that line somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, tip-off tomorrow, 11:30, Memphis, Mississippi State on CBS.
Number 2.
Karl Anthony Towns went back to Minneapolis last night for the first time as a visitor, member of the New York Knicks. Knicks won at 133-107. And Cat, buddy, he had himself a game. Karl Anthony Towns took 12 shots, made 10 of them. He finished with 32 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. When you watch something like that last night, can you find it in your heart to find happiness for Karl Anthony Towns? I'm sure he never wanted to be traded from Minnesota. He'd just taken him to a good place. He seemed to be fitting in well with Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards, but then they got money problems, so they got to move somebody, and they ship him off to New York, and I bet he's heartbroken on some level. He comes back to Minneapolis and has the game, like really a historically great game of his career. Can you find happiness for Karl Anthony Towns after a night last night?
I mean, sure. Yeah, I can. I've always thought he was I've always thought he was kind of a dork, okay? But
he might be a dork, but you can be happy with a dork.
So am I.
One of your boys,
who am I to judge?
Right. That's the thing. You know what, Bennett? You don't know this yet because your boys are still too young. You know what? You know where you're going to be one day? You're going to pray that your boys are dorks. You kill for dorks. That's what you want.
I am happy for him. I mean, he was awesome last night, and that's what you want, right? Like your revenge game against your former team, and you to have a huge game. That was cool to see. That was cool to see. I was happy for him.
It was. He got a big stage. They made a big deal out of it. I think he understands the business side of basketball and why he ended up in New York, but it seems to be going well for him with the Knicks. Not as well for Minnesota in the absence of Karl Anthony Towns. And Cat had a historically great game last night in his old arena. So congratulations to him. Nice to see him get that moment.
Number 3.
Bennett, Diddy was back in court earlier this week, and though we are not allowed to have cameras inside the courtroom here in New York City, they do have reporters inside, and what the reporters noted is that Diddy is visibly thin, much thinner than he was when he was taken, detained and facing a slew of charges. Found a prison expert who's weighed in on why Diddy is so thin these days. You know why? Do you know what the prevailing theory is? You know why Diddy's so thin these days?
I mean, I think maybe depression. That's what I was going to say. Maybe depression.
Depression could be a part of it.
Maybe he's not eating because he's depressed. Like when I get depressed, I don't want to eat.
Is that true? When you get depressed, you don't want to eat. Is that true?
I mean, I think that's universal. I think when people.
But is it true with you?
I think when people get down in the dumps, they lose their appetite.
Do you get down in the dumps and lose your appetite?
No.
I think I get depressed and I want to eat.
I know you eat your feelings.
I think I eat I think I'm the opposite.
Yeah, maybe that's wrong. Maybe you eat your feelings. I think that's actually more accurate.
And then I get more depressed because it's like, oh my God, I already felt like hell, and now I just ate 3,000 calories. Then I would just make it worse. Diddy is not eating. That is true. Not necessarily not eating because he's depressed. You know why Diddy's not eating? Prison expert says when you are somebody the stature of Diddy, and whether you have the goods on other people or not, and whether you're willing to share that information or not, if there are people out there who think you can and will, you fear for your life. They'll try to take you out, just like they did Jeffrey Epstein, allegedly.
Oh, he thinks he's going to get poisoned.
Yes. Diddy is thin because he's not eating, and he's not eating because he's scared of being poisoned. Which let me ask you a question. At what point does the fear of being poisoned, is it just outweighed by, I'm starving? And I don't even want to be alive if this is the way I feel. So I'm going to eat and hope that it's not poisoned. That way I'm not starving anymore. And if it is poisoned, then I guess that's it. I gave it a good run, but at least I won't be hungry anymore. I think I'd reach that point at some point. I don't know when, but I think I'd get there. Man,
he really does have stuff on some folks.
You would think so, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There are definitely people out there that are holding their breath with this whole thing.
How worried
There's
would you
no
be?
doubt in my mind.
How worried would you be? You're walking around, your life's good. People think you're a good person. You've been trying to be the best person you can be. You've got a nice career. You're in movies. You're in music. Whatever you're in, things are going good. And then Diddy gets obtained. He's behind bars. And deep down, you've never told nobody. You ain't never talked about it. But he knows something about you that, man, if other people knew it about you, it'd be over for you. How nervous would that make you?
Yeah, that That would make me extremely nervous. Yes.
Make you want to poison Diddy, wouldn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what's going on?
I think I do.
They got to. It's a tough situation, man. I bet when you're having your freak out parties, you never quite completely realize this is how it could end up. I bet that because if you thought it through all the way, you'd probably not do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he really messed up. This guy, did he? He really messed up.
He really messed up. Yep, he's in trouble.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope he gets Oh man, did you hear what gunmen are doing in Memphis? Did you hear what they're doing now?
I saw this.
They're targeting food trucks on Food Truck Friday. They're targeting food trucks.
They're
walking up on food trucks, middle of the day, pointing a gun at them, and saying, "Give me all your food truck money." Man, food truck people are like the best people, aren't they?
Literally the best people.
Like, if you are standing in a food truck all day, you're the best.
Mm-hmm.
You're the best of us. Like, you're just like...
I completely agree with that.
I don't want to go into the economics of a food truck, but I bet you the overwhelming majority of food truck people, I bet you they still climbing a hill. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's why people, for the most part, why people do food trucks, right? Is the goal of maybe one day owning your own restaurant, right? Like, this is the cheaper way to be able to provide food to people.
I can't speak to why people own food trucks, but I bet your sentiment's close to true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it's a stepping stone to a bigger dream. Or maybe it is the dream.
Yeah,
whatever.
Maybe it is. You're right.
But unless you're operating like 30 food trucks all under the same umbrella, I bet you still climbing a little bit. I bet you every day is important.
That's right. It's a grind, yes.
I bet you every day is important. Like, this is what we dealt with during COVID. Suddenly all these restaurants are shut down. And the world changed for all of us. But, like, my direct deposits kept coming. And your direct deposits kept coming, Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
But there were servers out there. And it was like, yo, man, every day matters for us. And if people aren't coming into a restaurant and eating anymore, well, then I'm not making money that I rely on to buy food and school supplies and keep the heat on and everything else. I can't survive this.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you that's a little bit like working in a food truck.
Yeah.
Like, every day matters. You can't miss a day. So what's it like when somebody comes up, puts a gun on you and takes that? Like, obviously, you don't want anybody putting guns on anybody and taking anything. But, like, if you rob Walmart, that family's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you rob Walgreens, like, somebody's family's going to be okay. I'm not advocating robbing Walgreens
anybody,
or Walmart.
right, I got it.
I'm just saying you're ruining people's lives when you do this to a food truck.
Yeah, it's shameful. And I hope they catch the people. I saw the video of I think it was Tacos and Ganas, right?
Yeah.
One over in East Memphis. Yeah, man, that's despicable. Karma's going to bite them in the ass, I hope, because like you said, like, these are, a lot of these people that run food trucks, like, this is, you lose a day's worth of earnings. That could really, really hurt you. So
yeah,
it's totally
I just
BS.
hate that. Like, I can imagine
these folks stooping to a new low. That's lame.
It's a little bit like robbing our tree trimmers.
Yeah, it is similar. Yep.
Like, man, them tree trimmers are the best of us. They're just trying to keep our lights on. They work, but in a lot of cases, working for cash, trying to keep our lights on.
Yeah.
And we can go out there and put a gun on them, take their money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish we'd have no crime. I'm not trying to rank different types of crimes, but crimes that target people who, like, you have really messed up.
The working class.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there's different types of people out there. There's some people who could have their car stolen today and, like, you just call insurance and we'll figure it out.
Covered, yeah.
It'd be fine. And there's other people, like, you take their car and you are messing up their life. Like, you are really damaging their life. And this felt like that. Be better, robbers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that message really resonates.
I don't think that's going to resonate.
Criminals.
Yeah.
I don't know if criminals are out there getting life advice from sports podcast, but if they are, Be better. Let's stop the robbing. And if we can't entirely stop it, let's at least leave the food trucks alone because, I'm hungry.
Number 5.
College football playoff gets underway tonight. It's first ever 12-teamer. Indiana at Notre Dame. We're going to do it at campus. Notre Dame Stadium. Touchdown Jesus. It's going to be awesome. You fired up?
I am fired up. I got to find out where I'm going to watch all these games, too, because we're flying to Florida tomorrow. And I'm actually going to be with multiple Penn State graduates they're going to be trying to watch that game tomorrow. So,
well, if there's one thing I know about the greater Orlando area is there's a lot of places that have TVs.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll find a spot.
I think you're going to be okay. It's playoff football on campus on a Friday night in prime time. What more could you want in life, Bennett?
No, I'm excited just to see how this. Like, obviously, it's going to go great because there's going to be massive ratings, right? But it's
they actually are concerned about that, and the reason they're concerned about that is not so much tonight. Tonight, you get Friday night Notre Dame on ABC. Tonight's going to kill it.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
Tomorrow, they're going heads up against the NFL.
Yep.
And the games, SMU, Penn State, and Clemson, Texas. The first 2 games tomorrow are on TNT or streaming on Max. They're just in. How many people are going to wake up tomorrow and go, "There's playoff games. Where do we even watch the playoff game?"
That's a good point.
I thought, is it on ESPN? Is it on ABC? Is it on CBS? It is on NBC? No, it's on TNT. TNT. I didn't even know they did football. Oh, sure. Or you can stream it on Max. Max. I thought that's where you watch the Dragon Show. Isn't that the Dragon Show? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on the same thing, you watch the Dragon Show. You can watch Clemson, Texas. That's right. Arch Manning and the Dragon Show are on the same app. That's right. It's just going to be confusing for people. Combine that with the NFL is going to be front and center. Tonight will be great. Tomorrow will not be great. And whatever argument you're trying to make on Monday, you just attach to whatever, the great thing or the not great thing. And then you go do 15 minutes on it. That's the way TV will work on Monday.
Yeah, and the NFL thing, they've been doing this. This is the first weekend that they start in Saturday, and it's always been, we're starting to do games late in the season on Saturday because college football's over. Well,
but do you know there's actually a law about this? It's really interesting. I don't remember the details, but there was a law put in place a long time ago that prevents the NFL from doing Saturday games until this specific weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always fine, but now with the expanded college football playoff, there's overlap. You now have college football needs this weekend, and the NFL's not giving it up.
No,
so here we go.
No, and I mean, obviously, you have a closer relationship with college football because it's kind of a pipeline than you do with, like, say, the NBA. But the NFL don't care about the NBA, right? No. Like they said, we'll do Christmas too,
right?
And it appears that this is the same. Like, no, we're not changing this. We've had it in place now for a long time, and we're not going to change it for the playoff.
The way sports works in this country is you have to run from the NFL. The NFL does not have to run from you. You have to run from the NFL. They don't. It's a little bit like if you're getting ready to release an album and you think Taylor Swift is also getting ready to release an album, you need to figure out when she's releasing her album and stay away from that, right? Like Taylor's dropping 2 Fridays from now. Well, we're not. We're going to push our stuff back for 3 months or whatever. This is a little bit like that. Taylor Swift doesn't have to worry about you. She could drop whenever. Beyonce doesn't have to worry about you. Kendrick Lamar doesn't have to worry about you. Drake, frankly, doesn't have to worry about you. But if you are somebody other than a small handful of people, you got to worry about them.
Yeah.
The NFL is the Taylor Swift.
Yep.
The NFL doesn't have to worry about you. The NFL can drop whenever. You'll be there for that. Everything else needs to worry about when the NFL's dropping. And if the NFL decides to drop on the same day you are, there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
And that's why tonight ratings will be good because it's ABC and no NFL. Tomorrow, ratings probably not as good because it's TNT and you're dealing with the NFL.
Yeah,
either way, 12-team college football playoff, postseason games on college campuses should be great. I can't wait. Kickoff tonight, 8 o'clock, live, Notre Dame Stadium. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of up to $340,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Here Comes Santa kicks off November 24th. Get one free entry and earn additional entries for weekly Saturday drawings. Don't forget the grand finale drawing on Saturday, December 21st to win up to $5,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quoting, call 800-522-4700. Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedExForum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live. Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedExForum.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. I'm in New York City. Ben Doyle back inside the Bill Ford Tough Studio, FedExForum, downtown Memphis. Let's wrap this up. GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly focused on the beatdown inside FedExForum last night. Grizzlies beat the Warriors by 51 points. Draymond Green and Steph Curry combined to go 0 for 11. First time those two men have ever played in the same basketball game on the same team and failed to create even one field goal. The Grizzlies created a bunch. They had 27 threes. Led wire to wire. Send a message to the $9 billion franchise with 4 championships under the guidance of Steve Kerr. Ben and Doyle, I think we both agree. Not ready to plan a parade quite yet, but that was a message not only to Draymond Green, don't talk about Taylor Jenkins like that. Keep his name out your mouth.
Yeah.
It was a message to the franchise and by extension, the entire NBA. I know it wasn't on TNT, and it wasn't on ESPN, and it wasn't on ABC, and it wasn't an NBA
Why not,
Cup.
by the way?
Well,
I'm just saying, like, it's Grizz Warriors. I mean, I'm sure they're glad that it wasn't. It was a 50-point. It was a 50-point
I do think
loss
when we get to the point in the calendar where they start flexing games, flexing
Grizz are going to
teams out
get
of
a ton.
games.
I believe
Yes.
that. Yep.
Yes, they're going to get a ton.
Yep.
As long as Ja's healthy,
Right.
they'll get a ton. I thought the most interesting thing, like if you're trying to figure out, trying to identify a reason to be like really excited, not just about what happened last night, but about where this thing is going. the Grizzlies started their 3 big franchise pieces and 2 rookies.
Yeah.
And went out and beat the Warriors by 51 points.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you can actually have a championship contender with 2 reliable rookies in your rotation, that is so uncommon in the NBA, particularly when one of them was picked in the second round. Like what we're watching.
Which we didn't
right
even
now,
mention, by the way, dude. Like Jalen Wells held Steph to his worst game ever as an NBA player.
You know, I thought Rob was good last night in the post game talking to Jalen. Because initially Rob said you held Steph Curry, and then he was like, you played a role in holding Steph Curry, because it's never just one thing.
No, team effort. Ja was on him too. Yeah.
But like, yes, Jalen Wells does not look out of place at all.
No.
He just doesn't. He's had moments here and there, but it's December and he already looks comfortable.
Yeah, man.
Playing in big games, against big-time opponents. It's all encouraging stuff. Still got to get some injury stuff cleaned up, but the top of the roster is mostly healthy. The wins are stacking up. Second best record in the West, 4th best record in the NBA. It's all good stuff right now.
What's today's biggest game?
Well, let's go back to Notre Dame. 12-team college football playoff gets underway tonight. It's Notre Dame and Indiana inside Notre Dame Stadium. South Bend, Indiana. Bennett?
Hit me
Kickoff
with
is
it.
at 8 o'clock. The Fighting Irish, 6.5-point favorites. Your total's 50.5. How are you going to act? Lost last night.
Oh, that was so lame. The Broncos had that game. I'm like sitting there last night like, oh, look at me, smart. Like I knew that they were going to win this one, and they just choked. That was a freaking joke. This is tough, man. Roser made the point last night that neither of these teams have beaten anybody like of significance. So it's kind of hard to gauge. They both have the same record, and neither of them have like that signature win that would lead you to believe to go one way or another. I think I'll just go Notre Dame because it's there, but I don't feel great about it. I'll go Notre Dame.
Bennett said he's taking Notre Dame because it's there, and he doesn't feel great about it.
You said
6.5.
bad weather. You said bad weather, right?
Gonna be cold, buddy. It says 28 degrees right now. That's what AccuWeather's telling me. It's 28 degrees in South Bend. Touchdown Jesus gonna be frigid. I've been to Notre Dame. I know you've been to Peru.
I have been to Peru, yes, and France.
I've been to Notre
and Belgium.
Dame.
Yep.
I covered a game there.
And London.
It is cool.
Oh, yeah, I've heard everyone say that. I have a friend that went and said it was, and he's not a Notre Dame fan, but he went for a game and said it was incredible. He went to USC Notre Dame, said it was incredible.
I was at Notre Dame, maybe like a Notre Dame, Michigan, something like that. I don't really remember, but I remember it being cool. I remember you really are sitting in the press box and you really look, I think it's to your left, and there is Touchdown Jesus, this thing you've seen on TV your whole life. And it is cool.
Yeah.
Like, I just think Friday night playoff football on campus at Notre Dame is going to be cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaning them. I just think that atmosphere is going to be wild. I'm going Notre Dame.
Notre Dame minus 6.5. That's what Bennett says. I'd take the Hoosiers. I like the story. The coach is impressive, but
oh, God,
fun
you
game.
know I love an underdog. Why would you wait to say that until I already made my pick?
Bennett, I'm not here to make picks for you or even influence you. I'm more concerned with you being willing to wear OVO gear than I am who you're picking in a football game in Indiana tonight.
Let's go Irish.
OVO.
I've got Irish blood. Let's go Irish.
OVO.
What are we watching on TV?
I guess we'll do SmackDown, Bennett, but man, I tell you what, Monday night.
It's the off season, bro.
I watched 2 hours of Raw on Monday night, and I said, you know what? I didn't need to do this.
We're in the off season, man.
There's not a single thing that happened tonight that I cared about on Monday Night Raw. Not one thing.
We are resetting on January 6th for
Raw.
Calm
down when you're January 6th. Calm down.
We are resetting for January 6th, Raw on Netflix.
Don't you think you've done enough on January 6th?
Listen, it's a big day. So that's a big day for the wrestling world, and then we'll get ready for the Royal Rumble. Like, it's gonna come back. January, I'm back. Like, I always jump right back in. But when we get in the thick of football season, it's tough. It just is. It's tough. But once January rolls around, once those Rumble ads start going, I'm in.
Right. Okay. Tonight, we're expected to learn who it is that attacked Jade Cargill. She's been sidelined by an injury.
Someone attacked Jade?
Oh, they left her on the hood of a car, all beaten down. She was like this. If you didn't know no better, you'd have thought Luigi got her. If you didn't know no better.
I have an idea.
Who you think got her?
I think it was Bianca.
Woo! Jealous of Jade?
Mm-hmm.
The streets are saying they think it was Naomi. Because Naomi
that
benefited.
Would make sense. She was part of that friend group too. I mean,
she got moved up. Now she's Bianca's tag team partner. Who benefited most from Jade Cargill getting sidelined by an injury? What the streets are saying is that it's Naomi. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. I do believe we were always headed for a Bianca Jade breakup, but I don't think it happens like this.
Okay.
I don't think it happens like this.
Okay.
We might find that out tonight. There's a chance. Can Cody Rhodes make an appearance? He had to be stretchered out last Saturday night. Kevin Owens
saw that.
Kevin Owens put him in a pile driver.
I enjoyed that.
I like a good pile driver.
I love KO. I love villain KO.
I grew up with pile drivers, so I can appreciate a good pile driver.
It's a good move, yeah, especially if you pull it off just right.
Unclear if Cody Rhodes will be available tonight for SmackDown, particularly when it's so close to Christmas. But we'll see. 7 o'clock tonight, USA Network.
Thanks for the thumbs up.
What's the best thing we've read?
I don't know if it's the best thing, and you can't read it right now because I hadn't even written it yet. But I'm gonna go change clothes, and then I'm gonna go meet with Mark Pope. He's the first-year coach at Kentucky, replaced John Calipari, off to a 10-1 start. Wildcats are ranked 4th in the country. They're playing here in New York tomorrow against Ohio State in the CBS Sports Classic. So I'm gonna go sit down with Mark Pope, talk to him about the start of his run at his alma mater, the University of Kentucky, and then I'm gonna write a column. It's gonna be at CBSSports.com. So check that out at some point today. I'll do my best. with it.
What's on tap next week?
Well, on Monday, Bennett's going out of town. I think this is our last show of the year with Big Bet Bennett.
Yes.
No?
Yes. No, that's accurate. You ain't gonna see me, buddy.
Oh, well, we sure will miss you.
Yeah,
we're sure gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too. Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a good time.
Wait. You ain't gonna see me. You ain't gonna see me.
Yeah, it's what I said 45 seconds ago.
Yeah. I had to confirm.
Well, I sure do hope you have a good time.
Thanks, man. Excited to decompress a little bit for the Christmas break. Yeah, thank you.
If anybody deserves to decompress, I think it's you, Bennett.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I think it's you.
Yeah.
Have a good time in Florida. We'll just stay here. We'll work through the end of the year. We're not going to try to cut it short.
Yeah, okay, you ain't working that much.
We're going to work through the end of the year. We'll cover for, you know what? You just go on.
Yep.
Do what you're going to do. We'll handle things. We'll be here when you get back, okay?
Big thanks to CJ, Roser, and Devin for holding it down and helping me out.
Big thanks to me, you know?
Yeah, big thanks to you too, GP.
Big thanks to me too. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy mine. I'll be back here on Monday. Bennett won't. I'll be back here on Monday. Meet me back here Monday at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.